Hello world, this is Zan, finally recovering from a very lengthy sickness and hopefully having a voice that can last through some videos now. You might have heard me during my streams and it was pretty bad, or at least I felt pretty bad, but I wanted to get those out. Anyways, we're keeping up here on turn 47 of Lucid's 2022 Dominions 5 tournament where I'm playing as Calum. So, and I will warn you ahead of time going forward, and I might have mentioned this last video, there will be a lot of missing turns here and there. I don't know what was going on with the bots or either myself not saving them. So I do apologize in advance for that. So starting this turn, we see I'm still doing my remote site searching with Augury and Voice of Apsu. I had to wait for Construction 6 items to get the path to cast these, so I'm trying to make up for lost time. And Augury's not doing too well, but I know Voice of Apsu starts coming in clutch, and I start getting a lot of water income from that. My Blood Hunters are doing good. I've stacked them all in a province, just because I need Blood Slaves now. We have a battle in Lepintha, but this battle is heralding a diplomatic change from last turn. As you see here, or I guess don't see because I was late, the monolith has hit returning and the witches have retreated. This is because I have made peace with Atlantis, just because I didn't see a way in which I was going to be able to defeat them easily. And I saw someone else on the horizon that I would have a much easier time taking over that would gain me a lot of land, ideally a lot of power, that I'd then be able to turn around and come back and fight Atlantis again in the future or someone else. We have another battle here in Griffin Rock. I was supposed to retake this, but I guess there was some sort of miscommunication and Atlantis was moving some of his forces through it. So that this is really unfortunate, but sometimes it be that way. There's a battle in Ulm, which is just Atlantis taking out the province defense, and then a battle in Raga, which is again Pan's. Wait, what? How do you lose two Pans in this? He's supposed to be just taking an empty Raga. What happened? How did these Pans die? Oh man, now I don't even have any battle sounds. Oh, okay. So I guess he had some of the Pans on advance and cast, and he probably got stoned over the head. These boulders are no joke. The Jotun boulders, when they have infinite ammo, they're actually pretty scary. Yep, there it is. He's getting stoned right now. Yep, okay, so that's how he lost two Pans. He just got rocked by these Jotuns. That's unfortunate. Pretty funny though. Let me pause it real quick and see if I can get combat sound. Alright, I've gone ahead and enabled sound effects, so hopefully that is working correctly and not overly loud. We hear now the clicking. Um, Now I'm dealing with this still the damn vengeful waters from Atlantis, just killing all my crap. And some events, nothing too crazy though. Well, an earthquake sucks. This is the last time I'm ever going to take misfortune, even though this is happening in a Luck 3 province. And that is it for turn 47. Now, turn 48 is it's a very important turn. Things happen on turn 48, and I didn't save it. I only have turn 49. So I do apologize in advance for that. But the main part of it is turn 48 is when I go back to fighting Utgard. And I have these nice armies positioned in Gulfalost and Waka. They previously were in the Henwood and Vertland. And I'm going to just take a good look at Utgard here, and then we'll be back to the screen very soon. But it might look different. So going into turn 49, we have a ton of crap happening. But I'll first just go to that Utgard. And it is very different. Turn 48 was a big turn. There were a lot of big battles. There was a lot of raiding and then small battles where I just pretty much I took the understanding that Utgard likely had stronger individual armies, but I had more smaller raiding squads that can just kind of go everywhere and deny him resources. because, and you see I lost this one at Pantocrator's Bounty, which is unfortunate. We'll go into the actual battle later. What I wanted to do was prevent him from getting any more gold income. You know, maybe his units are going to start uh, bailing on him if he doesn't have gold to pay them. But essentially just tighten that noose around the neck and prevent him from recruiting any more units, any more mages. So I wanted to isolate all of his forts, all of his provinces. And yeah, he still has some roving armies around, but nothing. You know, the clock is ticking now that I am making all this money, especially additional money from the raids, and he is not. Because even though this one is, Pantocrator's Bounty is not under siege, none of his provinces connect to a fort that is not under siege, if that makes sense. Now, okay, let's go back to our messages. So, Voice of Apsu is still coming in clutch. It's very, very clutch. I was beyond excited for this. This is a former province of Utgard, I think. And it has the Academy of the Crescent Moon, where it has these Wizards of the Crescent Moons. And this is my first Astral Mage. Dear God, this is my first Astral Mage. It is slow to recruit. It is Astral 1, maybe Astral 2 sometimes. But I am stoked because I have all of these Astral Gems I literally have no way of using. So, yeah, I'm pretty pumped to have found that. Anyways, as we'll find here, Pallbearer came back last turn, and I immediately threw him into combat. We got attacked by a Magic Nightmare. Okay, I guess. I think Utgard can cast this spell easily. This is like Vengeance of the Dead, and it's for every kill that the target has, it summons one of these. This is very good for killing super combatants later, as they get hundreds and hundreds of kills, sometimes in the thousands. Then you get thousands of these that can't be killed in time, and the battle times out, killing your super combatant. So it's a very good spell. In this case, it doesn't really do much. This is bad, though. This is very, very bad. This is Utgard has finally said, I'm going to salt the earth. If everyone's going to be attacking me, I'm going to salt the earth, and I'm going to make it miserable for everyone. So his Pretender God has now cast Astral Corruption. And this is insanely bad, because I think I just recently hit Construction 6. I'm recently getting onto this Path Diversity. I'm recently hitting like Conjuration 6. And I want to summon bigger mages of different paths that can cast spells that I otherwise couldn't, or I want to build boosters. And now, if I do that, there's a high chance of my mage dying. It's nonsense. So that's going to be very bad. It's going to haunt me. Pallbearer, as you know, died to horror, so he is sufficiently horror marked, and he is going to be a very big target during Astral Corruption. As you see, some of my other mages already getting attacked. So over here, I bump into one of his armies in Eric Land. What am I doing here? Am I just Winds of Deathing him? I think I'm just Winds of Deathing him. Yeah. Fortunately, I don't think it does much, and he just gets Soul Slayed. So, not the best trade. What was the results? Well, I killed 2 mages, but Saith Kona are a dime a dozen, and this is a valuable cap-only mage, so that's very unfortunate trade for me. And following that, so that was in the magic phase, so following that, we have an attacking Glanis. And I think I'm doing the same? Yeah, I'm doing the same. Winds of Death. And then he gets Soul Slayed. So, we killed some mages, but I don't think ultimately that this was worth it. Because although, well, this one maybe. This one is a good trade. Right? Yeah, because this is my non-cap only mage holding a Skull Staff. So I played 10 Death Gems plus like 3 to cast the spell. So this one is fine. I will take this trade where I'm going to lose a mage and a Skull Staff to kill 4 of his Saith Kona, which again, he has many of them. We also killed Garm Herding, which I guess is cool. So this one was worth it. The one in Eric Land definitely was not. We find a magic site in Golfalas, and we have some of the coolest assassinations I really was not expecting. We have a Jotun Wolf with a lifelong protection and a black heart. So this is pretty damn cool. I did not see this coming. And I think the other 2 are similar. They're just these hyped up Jotun scouts with black hearts. that are just going to fly over and kick my ass. I'm getting those 96 hits because they're moon blades versus magic weapons. Versus magic beings. But, you know, you can't one-shot earth elementals. It's dumb. Right, this one. And I think this is the same thing. This one's got a great shorter sharpness. So super cool, like mega thugs with black heart assassins. This is awesome. I love this. More people should use black hearts. I mean, no, please don't abuse assassination in this game. It's really bad. We have a battle in the Forest of Gila where we have. This is how you know Utgard is just. He's thrown in the towel in terms of like winning the game, but he's going to make everyone else miserable, and he's going to do it in the coolest way possible. So he has this Flesh Eater Lumber Construct. I don't think you need to Berserk Lumber Constructs. But hey, more stats. It'll give it more natural protection, so it's pretty much got Iron Skin when it Berserks. It moves ridiculously slow, it has a limp, has all this armor, but it's so souped up that it's just going to kick ass. And these guys retreat because I don't have a Death Mage here. I think he got assassinated. So it's taking in the hits. It's not going to Berserk, actually, because its morale's too high. So yeah, no. Flesh Eater might have just been the item that he had. In Pavonia, nothing important. I think I'm just skelly spamming here. Yeah. Hallamire, I actually have a tiny army. So these are kind of like the small raiding groups I was doing, either the 2 Death Mages or a Mage and 40 Spirehorn. Unfortunately, Pavonia has some Jotun werewolves and a lot of angry skeletons. These Jotun giants are pretty well statted for a long dead. They will hit you hard. They will repel you. They're no joke. So, safe to say, I don't do too well. They're pierce resistant, and we will find out soon that my army is mostly pierce damage. That's not good. Okay, in Glanis, I think we went over this one. In Neothia, my small raiding squad of 40 succeeds. And there's a battle here in Abysso. We'll get to that later. That's actually a really cool story. Pan is doing some raiding, and then in Pantocrator's Bounty, he flashes a Scrotty Thug and a Sithgona, but I retreat. Okay, we befriend some magic beings in Utgards, and we get discovered in Zooks, where somehow we killed a Jotun werewolf. That's a good trade. I mean, these are like elite units, but I'll take a Jotun werewolf killed. Do we drop on him? Yeah. There you go. They died to kill that one werewolf. Pretty good. So going back to the map, our current situation now has most of Utgard is under siege or raided. He's got some roving bands that I can't efficiently deal with, but that's okay. I don't have to because I have the fort walls cracked in Utgard. Next turn, obviously, I'm going to storm because I don't want the army inside of Utgard to merge with these roving armies outside. And this is a mistake I'm going to make in the future, like present day. But here, when I'm at my A game, I'm really seeing this coming where I'm predicting, okay, there might be like a magic phase attack with Hurlers or something. I might get attacked from a neighboring province, and then I have to do the siege. So once I do this siege, everyone here is going to have at least 3 times the gems that they need in case I get gem baited. This is a mistake, again, I'm making this mistake in current times. Just because I did take a break from multiplayer and I guess I was a bit rusty, so whoops. But here, I'm on my A game and I know what's going on. So unfortunately my orders aren't hidden for this turn, but mostly it looks something like, you know, grab everybody and storm, including Pallbearer, who has returned. He is not here to be a super combatant, he is here to be a big nature caster. Mainly, yeah, relief, because I don't want to get hit by rigor mortis. And this is a ballsy move because I'm on top of enemy Dominion 8, which means that he's got almost no hit points. What's keeping him from having no hit points at all is actually the Strength of Spring coming in. So in my mind, this was all going to work out. This is all good for me. In my mind. Anyway, so that's it for most of turn 49. I just want to talk real quick about this really cool conflict that was going on in Ctesias and Abyssia. There was a big Ctesian-Abyssian war that started pretty much at the beginning of the game and has just continued for the entire game. And I might have touched on it before, but it's important to note this is Abyssia sieging his former capital owned by Ctesias with, roving Ctesian armies and Abyssia owning Ctesias' capital itself. There was at one point a big switch that happened. And I think it's at this stage of the game that Atlantis and Midgard start to poach provinces from them. And I pretty much went out and said that I declared the Ctesian and Abyssian war a kind of man, I don't even remember the verbiage. I really pulled this out of my bum. But I don't remember the verbiage on how I pulled this off of pretty much saying that this war is a protected situation and that no entity should involve themselves in it until a victor comes out of Ctesias and Abyssia. And this pretty much, I think it somehow worked because, I mean, obviously, I think Midgard and Atlantis were planning their own throne rushes, and they're like, yeah, whatever. We don't want Caleb fighting us because we want a throne rush. um, but it somehow worked where nobody really messed with Ctesias and Abyssia. They left them to be these tiny balkanized nations, 30 turns behind everyone else's research. And I thought that was pretty cool. Um, I'm glad people respected, I guess, the threats of I would drop what I'm doing to go fight you. But yeah, that was it was just a pretty cool situation in the game that I don't even know how it all happened, but I thought it was amazing that these guys at one point Ctesias was owned by Abyssia and Abyssia was owned by Ctesias. I was just engrossed in it. Anyways, so that's gonna be turn 49, and that'll be it for today's upload. And I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the next one. So hopefully I have a string of these coming out, before something happens to me and I disappear again. Anyways, that'll be all. So see you guys next time.